Y'all want to be here all day? I want to call the Daviess County Fiscal Court special meeting to order. Commissioner Wathen, would you lead us in a prayer and a pledge?
Yes. Dear God, our Father, first we want to thank you for all the blessings you've given this community and this country. Please help protect the first responders and all of our county employees who work so hard to make our life easier. Please help to stop the destruction of the families in the United States and in Daviess County. And always help us make good decisions that are good for the citizens of Daviess County and also pleasing to your will. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just a point of order. Today is a special meeting. We have 2 items on the agenda. Those are the only items that we will be considering. Jenny, are you ready?
I am. Item 1, consideration for approval, A, Daviess County Sheriff's 2018 budget and quietus.
Move to approve.
Second. We have a motion second. Sheriff.
Y'all want to just pass it without me saying anything?
Oh, no, because we were waiting for Joe to get up there. Really, you can sit back down if you want. We just have Joe in the hot seat.
Well, I'll have a few remarks just so that I feel important.
Okay.
We're here today requesting approval of our 2018 budget. Each year, the Daviess County Fiscal Court appropriates $2,150,000 to fund the operation of our office, which we've always been appreciative of. We would not be able to provide the high level of service that our deputies do without that funding. The Sheriff's Department's budget for 2018 totals $5,250,000. Payroll costs for 2018 include a cost of living raise for all of our employees and a step raise for 12 of the employees meeting the eligibility requirements for same. Our budget faces significant challenges in 2018 due to the increased health insurance and pension funding costs, an issue that you're not unfamiliar with. Health insurance costs were a significant factor in 2017, and our insurance carrier anticipates increased costs for 2018. Health insurance costs for 2017 totaled $640,000, which was $50,000 more than we had expected. These totals were after excess carrier reimbursements, which the underwriters would not fund in 2018. Pension costs are another significant payroll issue in 2018. The Kentucky retirement system has set the fiscal year 18-19 rate at 47.86%, which is an increase of 51.7%. Hazardous duty retirement rates, though, have actually declined annually from 37.6% in 2012 to 31.55% this past year. While our proposed budget includes funding pensions at the current level, we're not able to fund those increased costs. As a result of the increased pension and health insurance costs, we request additional funding from the Daviess Fiscal Court for these items. We are requesting $180,000 to fund increased pension costs and a contingency of $225,000 to $250,000 in the event our claims warrant that assistance. We expect very little increase, though, in our normal operating expenses this year. This includes items such as vehicle, radio and computer maintenance, K-9 expenses, office supplies, uniforms, travel, ammunition for training, etc. Fuel prices, though, have increased in recent months, and we anticipate just a slightly higher fuel cost in 2018. We expect capital costs to be $113,500 less than last year. In 2017, we budgeted to replace 7 vehicles and a prisoner transport van, whereas this year we have budgeted to only replace 5 vehicles. Based on all of that, we are humbly requesting approval of our budget for 2018 as presented.
Commissioners, any questions or comment? Commissioner, is that a coconut long john down there next to you?
It is. I had it off camera.
You don't get to ask any questions. Yes, sir.
I have a question. It's not related to this specific budget. But I was just curious if across the state, when you get together with different sheriffs, do y'all ever discuss the fact, the problems that occur because of the timing of this budget? The calendar year versus
Yes, sir.
all of us are on fiscal year?
It's been a topic of ongoing discussion for a number of years, Commissioner, and you may recall that the legislature actually attempted to address that issue a session or two ago.
So y'all would be for making a change?
I would defer to Joe, but it's my understanding that we would have some concerns about that. I'd stop short of saying that we would be against it, but we would have some concerns that we, of course, could discuss with you.
Okay, that's my only question.
Any other question or comment?
Just want to make a comment, Judge.
Yes.
I'd like to thank the Sheriff Kane and especially Joe. Great job putting this together, very self-explanatory, and I just wanted to bring that up. Sometimes Joe don't hear the good parts.
And Judge,
Yes.
you didn't
Yes.
you didn't want me to speak because I have food out here.
I'm going to rule you out.
All right.
Go ahead.
Sheriff, I just want to thank you and your staff for what you do for our community. Also, your working relationship with us. That's where I thought George was going to go with his
As did I,
comments.
sir.
Because as we've said before, when we go to conferences, there's a lot of times folks off camera will talk about how they just can't stand their sheriff, or how much of a nut he is, and we don't have that relationship here. We're very blessed to have you and your professional staff. I will tell the folks that are watching that I had the pleasure of doing a ride-along not long ago and got to see your folks in action, and it was a very good experience. So, thank you.
Commissioner, if you didn't have the energy that you got out of eating part of that donut, would you have speechified that long?
I would have, because I actually haven't eaten that donut yet. That's why you still see it here.
Just a couple of things. I understand, Commissioners, that this $225,000, $250,000 contingency for insurance is not necessarily, or will not necessarily be an expenditure. We put it in there for the potential, and we do it. I talked to Joe yesterday. Well, let's make a more realistic estimate. But if we did that and we went to 250, then we would have to amend their budgets. They would have to amend theirs. We'd amend ours. It would cost an arm and a leg to do the advertising. So it's better to put the money in there. Joe absolutely understands you don't spend a penny more than you have to spend. I'm sure that, isn't that what you came away from that meeting yesterday, understanding? That's what I thought. But also understand that the $180,000 that's in there this year is just for a half year at the increased rate. Meaning next year,
Correct.
that amount will go to $360,000. And that's the issue that all sheriff's departments, cities, counties, any agency that is in the CERS or the KRS system is going to deal with. And Sheriff, you made mention, and this is beyond me, that at one time back 5 years ago, the rate was 37.6, and they reduced it 5%, even during the time in which they were running huge deficits.
That's
it didn't, never has made any sense. We were used to paying that. Let's leave it there, and we continue to pay it. So that's why you've heard me holler about home rule. That's why you've heard me holler about separation of CERS. As far as, and Sheriff, as far as the separation, or the fiscal year versus a calendar year, Commissioner Watson and I were talking this morning, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, I don't know a lot about how you're an elected official. I don't know how the Sheriff's Department operates as far as payments. I think I found out for the first time yesterday that actually the state pays some of your bills and advances the money until you get money from us. That may be part of the issue. But I want the citizens to understand what you guys do. It would be like on December 31st, they close their books, and on the 15th of January, they have to file their tax return. That's what you guys have to do.
That's correct.
And in that 2-week period, you've got to make all these decisions, and you have to come up here and tell us why and how. And you have my admiration and gratitude, and particularly you, Joe, for being able to do it. Now, I'm not going to say that about the county clerk, but you guys, you, I mean, I really do. And it was something, I think we ought to all get on board and try to make that change, as long as we don't hurt your office or the clerk's office. So anyway, thank you again. Any other question or comment? Joe, I stayed up all night and thought up a question I know you don't have the answer for. I don't got that in me. You want to come up, please? Okay. No. Don't approach this bench.
Okay.
And my question is, what did she bring you for lunch yesterday? Do you even remember?
Vegetable soup and a sandwich.
And you didn't share it with us at all?
I did.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I do have one
Yes,
quick
go ahead.
comment. Would you do me a favor, please, and thank your deputies for all they do for us and their willingness.
Reserving one comment until after you voted to make sure this goes the way I want it to. I'll allude to that.
But we never take them for granted. We want you to know that. We know that they're putting themselves out there in a lot of danger and oftentimes, and we do appreciate it.
Well, with your permission, I'll go ahead and make my final comment. First of all, I do want to, with all the seriousness of my being, is to thank Joe. I mean, what he does is nothing short of miraculous, particularly with the issues that we're facing currently, not only across the Commonwealth, but here. And how he does it, I don't know. But Joe, publicly, thank you for what you do for this office, for myself, and most important, for this community. And by extension of that, I wanted to thank each and every one of you. I have told everyone that would listen to me how fortunate we are to have the relationship that we have with this fiscal court. And that is demonstrated year after year after year. We don't always get what we want, but we always get what we need. This was an issue that we needed this, and you stepped forward and did. And you know, the people that view this see it as kind of a seamless transaction. They don't see how much effort it takes on behalf of everybody to make it happen. And it wouldn't happen without your concern for those officers that wear that brown uniform. You've always been supportive of law enforcement in general, and more specifically with the Daviess County Sheriff's Office. This office does what it does because of them. They make me look good, and sometimes, Charlie, that's not real easy to do. But Daviess County is blessed to have the quality of individuals that serve them on behalf of the Daviess County Sheriff's Office. I thank God every day in my prayers for them, and I appreciate so much, Commissioner, you making mention of it. And you can rest assured each and every one of them knows what this fiscal court has done and continues to do for us. Thank you.
Sheriff, we know overworked and understaffed you guys are, so we do thank you. Are you any kin to Father Pat Reynolds?
No, sir.
Father Pat opened our last meeting, and I asked him if he's any kin to you because he prayed as long as you do. Any other question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Sheriff. Thanks, Joe. All right, next item, Jenny.
B, Daviess County Clerk's 2018 budget.
You do know, Oz, that whoever presents this, it will depend on who presents it as to whether it gets passed or not. So are you sure you want to get up there?
I move to approve.
Second.
Go ahead, second. I had a motion and a second. We had a motion and a second, come on.
I just made that motion.
I was just in a hurry
forgot
to
to let
answer
us-
that.
What was the question?
I don't remember.
All right, there you
Go
go.
ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for, number one, thank you on our behalf, Pam and I, and assume Joe and Keith, that you gave us the extension that we're able to present the budget to you today. The 4th was a little bit tight the 4th of January, and it was nice of you, and we truly do appreciate it. You know, I don't have any prepared statements, but I just wanted to tell all of you, you know, it's hard to believe, in all seriousness, that 11 years has passed, and this is my last budget that I'll present to you. And I just want to thank all of you and thank the court, as Keith said, that the working relationship that we've had, I think our community sometimes really does take that for granted, because all of us, again, we talk about it, we hear the horror stories that go on in other counties, that they don't have the working relationships that we do. And I sincerely have appreciated the working relationship we've had, and it is seamless, as Keith said, and people don't know what goes on in the background. Sometimes we have agreed to disagree on other subjects, but we're able to work things out. And as the judge said the other day, and we talked about that at the Rooster Booster breakfast, local government works very well here. And local government knows what's best for the people of this community, and they listen to the people. You all listen to the people of this community. And we've got it's not perfect, but it does very well. And I appreciate it. And all of us, I talk about time, and I think about time a lot. I think about how quickly, and I know all of you sitting up there think about time, and it's kind of crazy how fast it's gone. But I'll tell you this, the clerk's office, when I came in 2007, everybody knows, and they'll laugh, but I hardly knew beans about it when I came in it. I mean, I've been in law enforcement for 24 years. And I tell folks, you know, God always has something good for you, and something's waiting. Sometimes you're apprehensive about going into it, but as long as you trust in Him and depend on what He tells you, He's going to lead and guide you. And I'll tell you this, and I've said it 1,000 times. In the almost 30 years since I got shot, God has blessed me beyond my wildest imagination. From that day to here, I never 30 years ago would have thought, after what happened to me, that I'd be here, that I'd be elected Daviess, the people of this county would put me in as clerk, and it's just been great. And I certainly look forward to the end of this year. I do look forward to retirement and another phase of my life. But I just want to thank all you all for making it easy. I mean, you really have. I certainly want to thank this lady sitting right here, because without Pam, I literally have said this, she greases the wheels down in our office, and she holds me accountable on budgetary things, and she really does, and she's just been a great asset to our office and to the people of this community. And also to my clerks, deputy clerks, they have just been, they've just been fantastic. And I often tell people I've been so blessed to have such a good group of folks that work for me. They're good people, and I just appreciate them. And I know they'll do the same for whoever's the next clerk that's going to come in. So I wanted to just tell you a little bit, and the public, a lot of times, the clerk's office, I've often said, you're kind of under the radar. We are, unless you mess up an election. Then you're not under the radar. But if everything goes okay, it's under the radar. And I didn't have any idea of how much really went on down there in that office, and how much revenue that comes in and how much money's collected. But just briefly, in 2017, we took in almost $25 million in revenue. We paid out to the state almost $15 million. Went to the state of Kentucky. To the court, with the 25% fee and the other fees, almost a little over $2 million to the fiscal court. To the tax districts, which includes city and county schools, the library, the fire departments, the extension office, etc. We paid $5.1 million, went out to them. And our budget last year was $1.9 million, and we spent $1.7 million last year. I feel like we have all been good stewards of the taxpayer money. We try to watch what we're doing down there. And a lot of money comes into that place, and a lot of money goes out of that place. But it's a revenue generator. And I told the judge the other day when we were talking, you folks need to be very aware that the state knows of that revenue stream And there has been a lot of talk about the state taking over licensing, motor vehicle licensing, because that cuts out me and it cuts out the courts and a heck of a stream of revenue. So in these future years, if you folks are on the court, you need to watch that.
That has occurred in many other states. We're one of the few that still
We're
do.
only, Judge, we're only two.
Right.
Colorado and Kentucky are the only two states left that the clerk takes care of issuing license plates. So you need to keep an eye on that. Okay, just getting to our 18 budget. We have proposed a $2,034,416 budget. Our payroll out of that budget is approximately $1.7 million, and that includes all the FICA and the taxes, retirement, insurance, and cost of living for our employees. Our operating expense is $180,000, and that includes things for indexing and software support, supplies, and I'm not talking about pencils here. I'm talking about books we need for recording and all that kind of stuff. That's big. Parking over at the parking garage, equipment that we have, and travel. That's all in that $180,000 is our travel. Probably won't spend that much, probably won't, but we've got it in there, and that's what we need right now. So equipment, we've got $65,000. Servers, I've talked to y'all, we've got to have new servers put in. We've got to have a replacement for replacement equipment. The other half of that HVAC system, heating and air conditioning, the second half of that we put in, and then other expenses are in there too. So, you know, and I want to say too, we've done a lot in 11 years, and I say we, you guys and us and our employees down there. The remodeling of the clerk's office was a major project. It was a $500,000 project. But that has been very successful, and I think you people have heard comments from the public that they like it. They're getting in there a lot faster. It's a lot more convenient when we're open, when the state system's working. But you know, we've just done a lot. In archives, I mean, Pam, we've had about redoing books and stuff and recording, and there's just a lot goes on. It's boring stuff. It's absolutely boring stuff, but it's absolutely necessary because the county clerk's office is a historian of the county. And those records need to be kept, and they need to be kept in good shape so people can go back. And every day, you've got attorneys down there that are going through all those records. So it's just an important office. And again, I appreciate it. And I'll be up here one more time probably before I check out. But anyway, thank you. Thank you all, and I ask that you I submit my budget to you.
Okay. Commissioners, questions or comments?
I had a comment, Judge. I want to thank Pam personally for your hard work, and most especially, I'm glad to see you here today because I've seen a picture of the van that you was involved in a wreck, and you're very lucky that you didn't get banged up worse than the bruises, and you too, Oz, as well. Thank you and all your people for all that y'all do, working hard, putting this together. I think it's a good proposal.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Anybody else?
I'd just like to thank y'all again. Just as I said with the sheriff, we are very fortunate to have a good working relationship with all our fellow elected officials, and I appreciate how you've contributed to that.
Thank you, Charlie. I do appreciate it.
Commissioner Wathen.
Only thing I can say is I agree with what they said.
What you should say? What they said. What they
No
said.
sense me saying it over.
You know, that's
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Well, I too. You've done a good job. The comments you made about Harley knowing beans, I continue to hear that about you from Pam and Richard House. I wish Richard had been here.
Well, I just hated it, but he's in Lexington, so.
Oh, did he take anybody with him, or
Yes,
did he
he
just
did.
go by?
He did. I
Okay.
think he took 10 up there.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. You guys do a good job. Like you said, we have worked hard to make that office to help you. We didn't do it. You're an elected official and you have your own staff. But we have worked hard with you to try to make it more
Absolutely.
accessible, more user-friendly, because again, I think that's what we should be. We should be, as I said the other day, we should be like an operating system in a computer. Nobody even knows we're here. Until something goes wrong, we pop up, we fix it, and then we go.
Totally agree.
Yeah, so I appreciate what you do. I appreciate you taking care of our money and bringing us our money when it's necessary.
And by the way, I wanted to bring that up. Probably at the end of this term, I think I'm conservative in saying that at the end of the term that we will be turning over $300,000 in excess fees to the court. So, and that's a conservative number. So that's very good.
And that's always good. So, Pam, thank you for keeping him straight. I know that you've had to come in there one time when that cabinet fell off the wall and almost took him out.
It almost did.
And Oz, I appreciate that little thing that you set on my desk.
You need to remember that this year.
I absolutely.
You can
do.
never limp too much while campaigning.
That's correct. Any other question or comment? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. County Clerk and County Sheriff, thank you guys for what you do. Have you got something else? Oh, we do?
It's in.
Oh, it's part of it?
Part of the budget.
Okay,
It's-
all right,
it's
all right, then come ahead. Or what do we do?
It's approved with your budget.
It's approved with your budget. It was included. It was included there. Okay.
That's the case, I've got one last comment.
All right.
Extremely interesting. The county clerk proceeded to speak to the importance of time and then chose to ignore it during his presentation.
Oh, it's not worth him going to the microphone now. But let me tell you about that county clerk. I was going to ask you, Oz, you any kin to Father Pat Reynolds and the sheriff? All right. There's no other business to be brought before Daviess County Fiscal Court without exception. We're adjourned.